Hello, welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest Podcast.
Woo!
I'm Rama Grace, this is Adam Diaz.
Hello again.
And our Storytime episodes are episodes where we read your folks' homegrown horrors, and Adam will tell us what homegrown horrors are.
Homegrown horrors are the stories you wonderful listeners and viewers have submitted our way, which contain stories that has either happened to you, a friend, or a family member, or just someone you know. They don't have to qualify with all those things. That's either like spooky, paranormal, true crime, spiritual, sometimes coincidental, sometimes just hilarious. And they send them where, Robin?
You folks can send them to us at storytimeatscariest.com, which is our email. You can go to our website, scariest.com. There's a contact us page. You can fill that form out and it sends it to us that way. We also have social media. We've gotten a lot of stories from Facebook lately, which is cool. So if you message us on Facebook, you can do it that way, and Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff.
Indeed. So we hope you reach out to us because we would love to share your stories if you would like it to be shared, like the 4 folks who reached out to us, I would say about a month to a month and a half ago. And they've all been curated. They've been gone through by Spooky Mom, and they're ready to go. So we have one that's pretty short. We have 2 that are medium, and then we have 1 that's pretty long. So it'll average out to around 4 stories. And I think we decided right before the show started that you were going to go first.
Cool. All right. So this first one that I'm going to read is from Amber. And it goes, "Hello, Robin, Adam, Spooky Mom, and Spooky Friends." That's you guys.
Hello. Everyone yell hello wherever you're at right now.
And then the world screams.
The world.
This first story I sent a while ago, and I wasn't sure if you read it or haven't gotten to it yet, so I'm sending it again with another story too. I wonder if we read it. Do you know?
I guess we're going to start reading it, and then we'll find out. Spooky Mom did curate it, so I'm not sure.
This first story is about my grandmother. First, a bit about the house. Right when you walk in is the living room, and to the left is the doorway to her bedroom. The kitchen and dining room is past the living room. On with the story. One day, she was making herself lunch. She brought her food back into the living room to eat it in her rocking chair. Out of the corner of her eye, she sees a person, glowing white, dash into her bedroom. She ignored it and sat to eat her food. I don't know how you ignore that.
Also, I don't think we read this one, so I'm glad
cool.
they resent it.
The next day, she makes her lunch and brings it into the living room to see the person again dash into her bedroom. She ignores it again until the next day. She makes lunch and sees the figure, and she is so done with this thing at this point. She slams her food on the closest table and yells, "I see you, come on out!"
Wow.
But nothing happens. After that, she stops seeing the figure. Now, my grandmother is pretty religious, so she believes this was her guardian angel. Why would it never come out again?
I don't know, but it seems like it's bad at its job if it got caught like 3 times in a row.
Right, which is better than a ghost. Next story is about me and my best friend. It's more like weird coincidence, which I thought would be perfect for y'all. One day, I'm sitting in my room getting ready for bed, and it's roughly 10 p.m. As I'm beginning to sleep, a song begins to play in my mind, and now I can't sleep. And that happens to everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like that totally happens to everyone. The next morning, I tell my friend about this song. She asks me roughly what time it was, and I tell her at 10. She tells me that around 10, she was listening to the exact same song.
That is weird.
This happened again recently. I had heard about this musical and didn't think to listen to it, but I decided to give it a try. After listening to it for a couple days, I messaged my same friend to tell her my thoughts on the musical. Again, she asks when I started listening, and I tell her a couple days ago. She tells me that she had a random urge to listen to the musical again after not listening to it for a while. A couple of days ago, too. I think she has some crazy ability because a few years ago, a friend of ours moved away, and one day she had a feeling to message her. Apparently, the same friend who was miles and miles away had the same urge to email her too on the same day.
Wow.
Anyway, that's all. Stay healthy and keep on creeping on. Thank you so much, Amber. I feel like those coincidences seem to happen to people that do hang out a lot or are good friends. And,
right. I know it's happened to my mom and her sister. Everyone always says, like, my mom and my Aunt Marie look super similar. They always ask them if they were twins. And they, like, started texting each other, like, the same odd reference on the same day at the same time. This was, like, months ago. It wasn't too long ago.
Really?
So it absolutely does happen to folks, and I just think it's super cool because it's like you feel even more connected, even if the thing you were going to send was like something small or just to reach out and say hey. Yeah. So it's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think it's fun because I know I send Liz stuff randomly sometimes, and she's like thinking the exact same thing. Or with you, I'll start texting you, and then you'll text me right away. I'm like, what?
You stole the words from my brain, you sorcerer.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Right on. Thank you for sending that in. So I'm going to move into my first email of the show, and it starts out like this. Its subject is homegrown horror. So you know exactly what you're going to get.
Okay.
Starts out like this. Hi, Scary-ish.
It's not a box of chocolates.
Hi. I guess I'll say hi on behalf of Scary-ish.
Hello.
I love your podcast and always listen to it with my sister. That's super sweet. This is my story. You can tell this on your show. When I was 1 year old, I was starting to talk and only knew simple words like food or water. My mom told me that I would look into the corner and say blue boy and follow something with my eyes and finger. I've always been sensitive and I always see things. When we got a dog, we thought it would get better. Well, when my mom and older sister came back from the market, my dog, who is named Zero, like Nightmare Before Christmas, started barking at the corner of the kitchen. It wasn't a normal bark, it was angry and protective. My sister moved the bags that we thought he was barking at, and he got even worse. Then my mom yelled in the strongest voice, quote, "Whoever you are, you need to leave. This is my house."
Wow.
Which we can all just imagine someone like authoritative screaming. I can definitely hear my mom screaming it until he stopped. So I guess they never came back because that's the end of it. It says, Kyrie and Michelle, stay safe and spooky. Thank you so much for sending it in.
Thank you so much, yeah.
Thank you for listening in pairs, too. I think that's super cool to have someone to listen with.
Yeah, because then you're getting like interaction that you wouldn't get with a podcast, you know, because you're like, you want to talk at the host, but you can't necessarily talk at
So you talk to someone else, and you probably have to rewind it. I totally understand that dynamic, so it's pretty awesome and really, really creepy, and hopefully that if you're still seeing things, nothing is too scary for you.
Yeah.
And hopefully Zero is alive and well.
It's always funny for me because that's the second story so far this episode where someone was like, just get out of here.
Right, you have to yell at these things to let them know you mean business.
Right. And it's just so interesting to me that so many people do end up doing that. And I know watching the BuzzFeed Unsolved series of stuff, the priest that they talked to was like, don't antagonize it, don't communicate with it, you know, just leave it be. But a lot of people are just like, get the fuck out. It's just so interesting.
It's a totally understandable reaction, I would say. So
I don't know if I could do it, though. I am a coward when it comes to that stuff. I would just be like, I'm leaving. Bye, Felicia.
Oh, wow. I probably would yell if I felt like threatened in some way, shape, or form, or if I felt like someone that I cared about was threatened. Otherwise, I'd probably just be like, whatever. Yeah. So, right on. Thank you for sending it in.
This next email is from Angela, and the subject is holiday horror.
Interesting.
I like the title. I'm excited. It goes, hey guys. Hey. I was introduced to your podcast on Spotify.
Shout out Spotify. Sorry about that.
And been listening for a couple of weeks now. Thanks, ISO, which means in search of, I'm pretty sure. And have been loving it. I have kind of a spooky/weird story. It's something I will always remember. I'm from Australia, and my mom was born and raised in Tasmania. We live in West Australia now, but used to go back regularly for family holidays. When I was around 5 years old, we took a trip over to Tasmania, Port Arthur, which is a historical village and a hot tourist spot. They do tours of the buildings, ruins, and prisons during the day, and at night, ghost tours.
Interesting.
Back in the 90s, they would only allow one group a night per ghost tour. What? You could totally do way more people, I think. And would roughly be 10 to 15 people. Being led by one person with a lantern. Of course, we did the tour, Parents of the Year. That's kind of a cool tour, though. It's a small group. There's only one a night, so they're not rushing you through the tour.
I wonder why.
Maybe it's a long tour? Maybe? I remember being on my dad's shoulders, walking around the pitch black grounds, and walking toward a house. As I just want to take a note here, like a second to note that these are kids that they're taking with them. Aren't kids more sensitive to ghosts and things like that?
They
or
definitely
ghosts attracted to them and want to possess kids more?
I don't know about that attracted part, and the possession thing sounds more like a demon, but I will say that kids will definitely carry it with them longer. You know what I mean? Like, even if there's nothing, kids will definitely overreact and have nightmares and stuff like that. So
yeah. As we got closer to the house, my dad put me down and held my hand. My memory is a bit all over the place being the age I was, so I'll go off what my parents have told me. As we went to walk in, apparently I kept saying, I don't want to go in. My mom then picked me up and held me and said, I'll be fine.
Held me in front of her as a human shield.
As she walked in, I started crying and freaking out. My mom took me back outside, and we waited until the group were ready to leave the house. As we walked out, I stopped crying and was absolutely fine. We continued the tour, strangely enough, and apparently I was fine and nothing more was thought of it. So it must be just that house that just has something there.
Something super creepy about
it. Fast forward 10 years later, another family holiday was due, and just myself and my mom went over. Of course, we went back to Port Arthur and did another tour. I wonder why, because you've already done it once. What?
I mean, sometimes people just want to do the same thing again and, see if the experience is the same. I mean, I'd go back to the Winchester. I totally would.
Really?
Yeah, because we didn't do the fucking basement.
Ooh, yeah.
You're a wimp.
I am a wimp.
Hashtag just saying.
All right, so fast forward 10 years. Oh, we already read that part. The whole place felt eerie and sad. During the tour, the route changed to the previous visit. Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's another reason to do it again.
All right. Yeah. We walked into a 2-story small house. The moment we went in, I felt sad and sick to my stomach. I told my mom how I didn't feel well and my eyes felt like they were watering up. I told her I wanted to leave and go outside. She followed. The moment I stepped outside, I felt better, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but I felt like something was watching me. Then my mom says, "That's strange. That's the same house you hated when you were little."
Wow.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy. My hairs still stand up thinking about it. I wanted to get away from that house as fast as I could. The tour guide was telling us about the house we were entering and that a man who lived there during the mid to late 1800s died in the house. Also, that some people had experienced strange/unexplained things happening as well. I still think about that place and how eerie it is. I do think about revisiting whenever I go there again, but it just freaks me out. Hope you enjoyed listening in this little spooky experience of mine, and thank you for the spooky/cool/interesting stories, and keep up the good work, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Maybe with a house like that where your body reacts so much to it, there's got to be some type of energy going on in there, maybe some electromagnetic something that's off about the house. Or,
a lot of wild speculation right there.
Who knows? It's just like, why would your body react to that house that way, you know?
Right. My aunt was a realtor growing up, and she always used to tell us that there were houses that she would take people to that were underpriced, ready to sell, perfect for a family, and the people that would walk up to it would just be like, no, I didn't want to look in it. It has a bad energy. I have a bad feeling about it. I feel sick to my stomach. And just to think about that as an adult, I'm 35 now, if I was looking for a house and the perfect house was available and just walking up to the house, I decided I'm not even going to look in this place because it makes me it fills me with a sense of dread and there's no way I'm living in that house. There's something to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely trust your instincts and maybe try the tour again a little bit later in life and see if it still happens to you.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Maybe be blindfolded and see when you feel that.
Ooh, that's a good test.
Yeah, there you go. So, or maybe we'll make our way there one day and we can all just go together and we'll blindfold you and just lead you around. Robin and I will hold your hands.
We've never been to Australia, so it'd be really cool.
I hear it rains spiders, so I've kind of actively avoided it. But hey, it could be a fun time.
I want to feed a kangaroo or something.
I want to pet a koala and then box a kangaroo.
I don't think you can. I don't think you're allowed to pet them.
Koalas?
Yeah.
Do they burst into flames?
No, but
I just realized that's such a sad joke because of the fires.
Yeah, you fucked up fuck.
My bad, y'all.
Oh my god.
I was just trying to say it's a delicate creature, and I've been using the burst into flames joke since Aqua Teen Hunger Force because everything used to burn into whatever, fuck it. All right, thank you for sending that in. So before we move into our next story, we are going to take a really quick commercial break. And we're back. All right, so I'm going to move into my last and the last email of the show. This one is rather long, so strap in. The subject is Haunting Tales from the Middle of the Pacific Ocean. Read. Pretty solid subject. And it starts out like this. Aloha, Spooky Ohana.
It's aloha.
How was I supposed to know that? How do you know that?
I'm from fucking Hawaii.
It's Joe, she/her, from Big Island, Hawaii. I sent a few emails a billion years ago. Pinky trick to get out of the sleep paralysis. I remember that one. Had a dream of you two in a haunted house with a guillotine. Cursed sand from Hawaii. Rubbish can. Office ghost, etc. I remember all these. And it's been a while, so I thought I'd send an email. And thank you to Mama Spooks for reading and copy editing my work for free. Read on the pod, bruvs. I have a few short stories, so here you go. And they're all titled. So this first one is New Year's Friend. This past New Year's Eve, which was 2020. Hope you get to this email this year, LMFAO. I had a sip of wine. A sip. It was the first time I exited my room the entire day because holidays, yo. And the neighborhood had been popping some fireworks here and there already. I went back into my room to grab something, and lo and behold, the string lights I received from my sister for Christmas had been turned on. These string lights are AA battery operated, and I taped it around my desk with the battery held inside the drawer.
That's creepy.
So you can't turn on the string unless you open the drawer and turn it on that way.
I mean, someone may have been an asshole and was like, let me go into your drawers
But they
real
popped
quick.
out and they popped back in, so they had to have been super quick. At the time, I lived next to a veteran cemetery, so I thought maybe it was one of the lost souls who, quote-unquote, lived next to me. I asked all my family members if they had turned it on, and they did not. They were like, ew, bro, why would we go in your room? That's so mean.
That's so mean. It's something I would say to my sister, though.
It's true. Because I couldn't explain it, I blamed it on that baby sip of alcohol I had that made me completely forget that I turned it on, ? It was just weird. So the very next day, January 1st, 2020, we had dinner, and I exited my room yet again to eat dinner. I forgot something, so after about 5 to 10 minutes, I returned, and she was lit, bro. My sister's skull-shaped string lights gift is cursed. I did not have a sip of alky, and I wasn't gone that long. No one had entered my room since I left. What the heck? So I rationalized it as best I could, and here is my explanation. My ghost neighbors were getting spooked by the fireworks outside.
Gosh.
They're war veterans, PTSD. That's what's actually in the email. I didn't just make that up, although I made it sound like it did. And they turned on my string lights to keep them safe.
Aw, that's cute.
Very believable. I will say it has not happened since. I have moved away from the cemetery. I miss them, sad face. But I hope they are doing okay during the next fireworks show. That's a really nice way to rationalize it, I think.
That's a really nice way to think about it. So it's not like scary. It's more, I don't know.
Heartfelt.
Yeah, it's cute.
I agree. This next one is called Demonic Caress, which sounds pretty awesome and slightly sexy.
It's where Satan gives you a foot job with his hooves.
What the fuck? Wow, you just went for it there, and that sounds awful and rough and squishy.
What? Squishy?
You'd be squishy and it would be squished. It just sounds horrible. I don't know why you said that. Demonic Caress.
Oh, God.
This incident happened at 3:30 a.m. on March 9th. In bracket, it says tangent. It's April 10th when I'm sending this, and I'm going to guess you're reading this June 16th or June 23rd. Wrong, it's May 19th. Am I right? LOL, subscribe for more.
It's way early, right?
Anyway, I woke up enough to know I was in the lucid dreaming / REM stage. For some reason, I was dreaming about celebrities having bitch fights for no damn reason, and one of them breaks the fourth wall of my mind and starts talking about something that's going to happen to me, something they're waiting for. I start to get uncomfortable with this dream, and I toss and turn slightly when suddenly I turn my head to the right, and I feel this wave of pressure against the left side of my body, pushing me towards the right as my head turned. It felt like static in the shape and weight of a heavy blanket rubbing against my skin with purpose. It's hard to explain, but it felt disgustingly real. So I woke up fully with my eyes closed, in parentheses, didn't want to check if there was a demon next to me, yet, like, what am I going to do with that information? To assess where I was and what has happened. After the quote-unquote coast was clear, I opened my eyes and checked my phone. I was like, bro, if it's 3 a.m., I am going to scream, and it was goddamn 3 a.m.
What? That's crazy.
I, parentheses, trigger warning, felt a little molested by this entity. It seriously felt like I had been touched inappropriately by something, so I did not feel like I was going back to sleep. Having had sleep paralysis before, I was sleepy enough to know that I would go into sleep paralysis if I tried to go back to sleep, so I went online and posted cat pictures on my Instagram to clear my mind, lol. But that night really fucked with me, and for a couple days after, I was afraid to sleep at night, and I am almost 30, in parentheses, ew. So that's saying something. Who says ew to 30? That sounds like a horrific experience, but ew to 30?
I'm 30.
Yeah, but 30 never looks so good.
Thanks.
The next story is called Dancing Devils. My final story. I was waiting for you to come up with some weird, horrible sexual innuendo for this one, too.
No. Okay, see, no. My brain is very strange, though. But this one, I just imagine a bunch of satyrs, doing a jig together.
I could see that.
Yeah.
All right, Dancing Devils. My final story is one from my childhood. I am the youngest in my family, but I had the biggest bedroom. I don't know, man. Ask my mom, who preferred to sleep on the couch most of my life. LOL. But anyway, when I was 5 or 6 years old, I remember needing to go to the bathroom across the hall, but couldn't because there was a moving red light coming from under the door of the bathroom. I scurried back to sleep, and my stupid 5-year-old brain made up a story of devils dancing inside my bathroom. I was spooked for such a long time. A few years later, I realized my mom had a red nightlight plugged in the bathroom, and I'm just a stupid dumbass.
But who has
LOL.
a red nightlight?
Well, red lets you keep your night vision. So, like, lots of flashlights have filters in the military so that you can see stuff in red light. That way, like, if you turn off the light, your eyes have not adjusted for the light. Anyways. The email ends. Hope you enjoyed my stories. I'm sure I'll have more to come. I recently moved and bought a house. Hey! And binged your pod on Spotify. Wink. Thank you so much for binging. And thank you so much, Spotify. This is Sean Connery. I was like, why did that feel so familiar? Anyways. During my work from home situation, because I can blast it out loud and Karen from accounting can't say shit. LOL, JK, but yeah, catching up on your podcast from January to March in just a couple days and hearing the growing concern for COVID-19 is a little disheartening, knowing it affects every part of the globe, in parentheses, even my favorite podcast. But I hope you and your loved ones are staying safe and healthy. If you read this in the summer, I'm hoping that the numbers are decreasing and we can get closer to quote-unquote normal. Also, I don't have Twitch, but can I request a dialect/accent coin or whatever and have one of you read this sentence? Son of a bitch. We actually edited all these out, but because you have requested it in the email, I will do this for you. Oh my god, I know this video. Okay, it says, British people getting stabbed. Like, oh, there, mate, bit rude to put the knife in me chest, isn't it? I think I did okay there. Love y'all, and keep on queeping on. Mahalo, Joe.
Thank you so much. And Joe is Squidward's Poppy inside Twitch,
shit.
So.
That was perfect. So they got to sit and listen to me read the story, and I hope I did okay with that accent as well. It's always nice when you folks actually request it in the email so we know we're not disrespecting you in any way, shape, or form. So that was really fun. Thank you for sending in the myriad of stories, and those are some really good fucking stories. I totally understand the idea, too, of, like, you think something terrifying is next to you or around you, and you just decide, like, I'm not going to open my eyes. Like, if it's a demonic entity or some sort of ghost, like, that doesn't mean it has telepathy. It doesn't know I'm fucking awake. I'm going to pretend like I'm asleep, and hopefully it doesn't notice that I'm not snoring anymore. At least that's how I think sometimes. You just keep your eyes closed.
I will pretend to keep snoring.
You pretend snore?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't pretend snore unless, like, I want you to go to sleep first, which very rarely happens. It's usually if we're fighting, and I'm like, I'm not going to sleep first. She can go to sleep first. Like, she can sleep angry. And then once I hear her asleep, I feel like, oh, she's at peace now. And then I can go to sleep.
Why does it matter if I
don't know. It's just something that happens in my brain where I'm just like, I'm not going to sleep first. Like, she's waiting for me to go to sleep so she can fucking kill me in my sleep. So.
I can do that anytime.
That's terrifying. But once again, thank you so much for sending that email in. So thank you to everyone who watched us live, listened to us recorded, sent in your stories, or supports us in any way, shape, or form. We sincerely appreciate all of you. For folks who have stories and would like to send them to us, please email storytime@scarish.com or go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. You can also hit us up on any of our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod. And Instagram is @scarishpodcast. Robin, for folks who would like to donate to us, how can they do so?
If you would like to donate to us, you can head on over to patreon.com/scaryishpodcast. Those are monthly donations, whole bunch of different tiers. Tiers start at $1. There's a discount code right now on there for our Etsy shop till the end of May. So if you folks want to join just for $1, you can get a discount on our Etsy shop. It's great. Win-win. There's even, I think, free shipping if it's over $15 too. What?
Save yourself some money.
Yeah, so go and have fun with that. And if you want to donate one-time donations at Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. Those are one-time donations. All your donations go to helping us upgrade our studio setup and keeping this podcast going. So, yeah.
Indeed. It's just about everything we have for episode 119, I think it was, of Storytime. So, Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.